what do you see down there below you? Or what is the first things you see?
I see and hear children playing.
Okay. Tell me about those children.
They're wearing like smock-like, flowy dresses.
What is the color of the dress? Clothes are they wearing?
It's kind of a whitish blue. It's not quite all white, just little hints of blue. And they're, I don't know, they feel more like energy, like childlike energy.
A playful energy. Okay.
Like they're dancing and holding hands, giggling.
Okay. Are there many children or the few you can identify?
Feels like there's like 8 or so.
8 or so? Okay. And what is the age in the children?
I want to say indefinite.
You don't have to just like around which age, kindergarten or older.
By our terms, like
very young, toddler, or
like
how
8,
do you say?
like 8 maybe.
Like 80, around 80 years old, that kind of energy. Okay. So what are they playing at? Just to look around, and can you see the area?
It just seems like the ground is more like brownish with patches of green like grass. They're barefoot, but they're kind of hovering above the ground.
What is hovering?
Like they're above the ground.
Oh, those kids are you talking about? Oh, they are above the ground. Okay, tell me about them. What are they doing above the ground?
They're just like having fun.
What are they doing in the air?
Like they're dancing, they're holding hands, they're laughing. They just seem like they're interacting with lots of fun.
Sounds interesting. Yeah. And so they are barefoot.
Yeah.
You said, yeah. Are they holding anything in their hand?
No. They're just kind of like floating, dancing around.
Okay. Can you see that their genders?
I think they have more of a feminine energy. I don't. It doesn't seem like they're boys. Seems like they're all girls.
How do they look like?
I don't know. I just feel more of their energy than other than their float. Like feels like they're like cotton bluish white, flowy attire, and I don't really see their faces or their bodies.
Okay.
They just have their shapes.
I see. Okay. So.
But they have feet, barefoot, and holding hands.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I don't really see their hair or their faces.
Okay. And just look around. Do you see anything else?
Other than the ground, which seems brown and little green patches, I don't see much else.
Okay. That's okay. How far can you see from where you are?
It's like I'm just focused on these children.
Okay.
It's like just that one area. It seems like it's just focused on these children.
Okay. So now you're focusing on these children, and where are you looking at them from?
I'm observing them from slightly above and to the side.
When you see them, how do you feel about them?
I just really enjoy watching their playfulness. It makes me feel their joy.
Yeah, wonderful. And I want you to focus on your own body. Do you have any shape?
I feel like I'm little, it's like I'm still part of the cloud. Like, I just feel like little tiny dewdrops or something.
Did you see the shape? Like a drop shape?
Of me? I feel my shape, but I still feel, I feel sort of like my human body, but I feel more like I'm part of this cloud, but not in the human. It's like I can shift between my, not being in my human body, but being more in this cloud particles.
Ah, okay. Yeah. So are you off from the cloud, or you are still with the cloud?
With the cloud.
With the cloud, okay. Yeah. So you are observing from there? Okay. And from that position, maybe you are able to see more. If you move the cloud, and you can go to the land if you like. So go and find the place where you like to land. And you started to see something. And you're able to tell me what do you see.
I feel like the cloud is going down through the ground.
Yeah. And how you are getting out from the cloud.
Feels like the particles that I am is seeping through the ground. It's like it's going through the ground and it's becoming more crystalline. It feels like denser, more solid, but I don't know, it's kind of like...
So now what you are becoming?
I feel like I'm becoming part of the crystals, or rock or whatever it is.
Okay, tell me about that. You are crystal or rock.
Mm-hmm.
How?
Like the cloud dew became part of, like seeped into the ground and became part of the whatever is underneath the ground, which are the crystals and the rock and more solid.
So tell me where you landed at. And what else is surrounding area?
That's all I feel is like the crystals, but it feels like there's energy in the crystals.
So not only you, but the field is full of crystals?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like they have their own beings or something.
Okay. So what kind of colors are you or do you see in the area?
I see mostly like light, bright light, but also sparkly purple.
And can you see any difference between you and other crystals?
I don't know, it just feels like we're all one thing. I mean, different, but one thing.
And what do you notice to be there as a crystal?
Feels very neutral. Feels like there's all this information, but it feels like it's all just information.
What do you mean by that, just information?
Like I feel like it doesn't have the emotions like in humans have. I feel like it's more knowledge.
So what kind of knowledge do you hold in the stone?
It's like knowledge to be used to gain wisdom.
What kind of wisdom have you gained so far, or you are looking for?
I don't feel like the wisdom is in the crystals or in me. It's the knowledge. I feel like it's the knowledge that is there to be used.
Are you holding the same knowledge as other stones in that place? Or
I feel like it's just one expansive knowledge. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's all knowledge. It's like, maybe it's like all knowledge. It's like source of knowledge. And with that knowledge, you can use that knowledge to help you gain insight that will, through experience, will give you wisdom.
so how can you use that knowledge to gain wisdom?
Is what I'm seeking.
Is that something you should expand and learn, or do you have any other element you require from outside, or how does it work?
The knowledge is available. It's available to everybody. But I think we're meant to remember some of that knowledge. And in our experience on Earth, as we experience and have emotions, that knowledge will help us to gain insight and wisdom, so we can move closer to our purpose, to remember our purpose.
So what is your purpose?
To take that experience and those emotions and wisdom and share it back to that place.
Back to which place?
I think where the crystals are. the place that I'm at right now.
Okay.
Because that place has the knowledge, but perhaps not the experience and the emotion and the wisdom.
So when you bring the emotion and experience and wisdom there, what's going to happen?
I think that's what the children show, is that place of love and joy, to that place where it's just knowledge, and infuse that into the crystals.
And then if they discovers what the children was showing, then what's going to happen?
What's going to happen? What? When?
Yeah, when the crystal discovers, or you discover the joy of the children with all the experience and wisdom and emotion.
That will be the blissful place. That will be the home. That will be the Lemuria we want.
Who is creating Lemuria?
The children.
Is there any particular kind of children, or what kind of children gonna create that place?
It's the dragons, it's the humans, it's the Pleiadians, it's all beings, it's all contributing in their own unique and diverse way to come together.
Is that place something already exists in some place, or it is somewhere so they are all looking for?
It's in its source. It's creating source. It's expanding source. It's all the galactic beings. It's all the different entities. It's all a big purpose with different perspectives and different entities, and all contributing, all participating.
Tell me more about that.
Well, here on Earth, even what we call the bad people, they're contributing by providing, because where there's dark, there's light. Without the dark, there would be no light. So eventually, all of the dark goes to the light in the crystals.
Tell me about the relationship between light and crystal. How do they work with each other?
They balance. It's like the crystals that look pure and light, and then you have the darker purple. But they all sparkle. They're different, but they all have the same knowledge. I think. I don't know. It feels like they all have the same knowledge. They're different and have different perspective, but they feel as one.
So where can we find Lemuria?
Lemuria used to be a civilization on Earth.
Okay.
It's a concept. It's the culture. It's more of the divine feminine type of energy, which I think we hope for. We hope for a world of peace and love and joy and happiness. It's a concept.
So was it there on Earth a long time ago?
Yes.
Okay. How long, how far, how many years or time, if you can report?
Like hundreds of thousands of years.
Okay.
I'm hearing 240 or 60,000, but I don't know.
Okay.
It's long
A long time ago. And was it the civilization like that?
Yes.
At the time?
Yes.
Okay, like joy and happiness and love?
Yeah, I feel like the children I saw, maybe that was represented of Lemuria.
Okay.
Maybe I think they might have been from Lemuria.
So how did they exist on Earth?
They were more collaborative. They were more they lived from their heart. They were more from their heart. If they contributed whatever their talents were to help each other. They had many abilities, but they were all used for the greater good. There wasn't the kind of greed and fear and power concept. You have people who have different abilities, even like people who were priests and priestesses, but that wasn't about power. It was about abilities and using your abilities for the greatest and highest good of the community.
So they have the community like we do now on Earth?
There are very few communities by those standards. Communities on Earth it's a different way of living and thinking that we have to shed. We have to shed that primal survival fear. It's that idea of survival of the fittest that we have to shed to be able to build a new Lemuria.
So tell me about the ancient Lemuria. How did they live and why they disappeared?
I think they disappeared because of different factions, maybe within Lemuria or outside of it. Might be like Atlanteans who started to use technology or power in a way that was destructive. I think the Lemurians knew that their civilization would be destroyed, but because of the way they lived, there's no thought or desire of fighting. So they just, moved on or disappeared or went underground or something. I'm not sure where.
What the community destroyed or they moved themselves somewhere?
I think both.
So in the place wasn't only one small location or country?
It was an expansive place, like whole continent, maybe.
Okay.
So
was it a big continent?
Yeah, I feel like it was a big continent, like size of Australia or bigger. I think it was expansive.
Okay. Do we still have the same land now?
Most of it, I think, went underwater, but it's more of, it's not, the land, if it's about the land, I think that went mostly underwater. If it's about the people, I I think they dispersed.
Okay. So there are some survivors or the
Somewhere.
descendant are here somewhere. So their descendants are still living on Earth at this moment?
Maybe underwater, maybe under mountains, underground. Maybe that's...
Why do they choose to leave those places, like hiding?
I don't think they're hiding. I think it's just their new land. It's just their new place.
Okay.
Because I think the old Lemuria was destroyed by the other kind of values. The need to, or the thought to use technology in a destructive way.
And how did they take over or destroy it? Lemuria?
I think Source had to start over.
You mean Source itself wanted to start over?
I think Source and some kind of council. Or maybe just Source had to make the great experience of Earth start over.
What was the reason for them to make it start all over again, even though they have sounds like a peaceful place?
Because the direction, it was a destructive direction. It was the destructive direction. Because Earth or Gaia must not be destroyed. The beings on Gaia must live in harmony with Gaia. And when that becomes destructive, the project has to start over. So our purpose is to protect Gaia, to live in harmony, and not just humanity, but all the beings that are part of Source. We're at a very important time to see if we can do that. If we can finally succeed.
Are you talking about the now, or are you talking about the old time? Now?
Now.
Okay. So tell me about what is the relationship between the Lemuria we just talked about and right now?
Gaia is going through some healing and shifting. That will also affect much of humanity. If humanity can create a new Lemuria, we will be able to live harmoniously on Earth.
So how can Gaia create a new Lemuria again?
Gaia does not create Lemuria.
Okay.
The beings will have to collaborate to create Lemuria, a new Lemuria.
Okay, tell me, what kind of beings are you talking about? Human or something else?
All of the beings. I think I'm not supposed to say all of the beings, not just humans.
Okay. Are you talking about there's some beings from outside of Earth? Or more like an energy being?
What humans call ET, I call galactic. We're all part of a galactic.
You call it galactic.
Yes, and galactic, besides humans, are on Earth.
You mean the galactic means all the other entities from all over the galaxy?
Yes.
Okay. Are they different from human?
Yes.
How different are they?
As different as we are from the grass.
Okay. Can you tell us more about galactics? How different are they?
Humans have different races. They have different skin complexions, eye color, hair color. Those differences also exist in the galactic, not just with human qualities, but in form. Like the elementals, air, water. If you see a lizard or a snake or a spider or a panther, we would say they are different. We may fear them, but it's all because of what's in our own mind, of how we perceive them. It's kind of like that movie, E.T. They're just different. And within the galactic, there are many, many, many differences. It's like watching a movie where the human goes into a restaurant with all different kinds of galactic beings. Imagine yourself going into that restaurant and seeing a being that you can't even imagine exists. Maybe without a head, or a body that's made out of wood, or silly putty. There's many differences. But like with humans, despite your differences, the hope is that you can collaborate and be as one and love each other, respect each other, collaborate with whatever abilities are unique to you, whether you are human or Pleiadian or Andromedan or whatever.
So what is the common way to communicate with them if they are already on Earth trying to help us even within ourselves on Earth right now, we are so divided into the different countries, region, and we have so many languages exist, and we cannot communicate with each other. And how can we do it from all those different entities from different places and different maybe language or the way of communicating? How do we communicate with them to get some benefit?
We need to remember, practice, like with the piano, you have to practice the ability for telepathy as a means of communicating, vibrational telepathy. Children coming in are able to do that, but we use language that takes over. But when you hold a baby or a toddler or give someone a hug, it's a feeling or a knowledge that you share, you can share without words. There is research that shows autistic children can do that without effort, because often the other language-based systems don't reprogram or over-dominate that ability to use telepathy as a means of communication. We take our children out of environments that will help them practice those ways of communicating. Go out into nature, and soon they can communicate with the ants, with the trees, with the animals, because they are practicing and using that ability to communicate. But we put them in classrooms where all it is talk, 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 talk. Words, 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 words. And pretty soon, we only know the language we grow up with. The words. Music is a good way, because even without words, you can feel the energy through music.
So how we, as an Earthian, the human living on Earth right now, or maybe any other entities to come in here right now, can help those children to evolve to the new Lemuria?
The human adults can learn from the children. Don't discount what the children see or hear, and pay attention. You may already be interacting with an ET or hybrids, because they are already here.
So those hybrid or ETs or galactics, you say, then do we see them differently from human? Or how can we know they are different?
You'll know with your heart. Lead with your heart, not what you see with your eyes, and your mind provides a narrow perspective.
So by look, do they look like just like us, human?
If you want.
What do you mean by that?
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. someone might see something and think it's beautiful, and another sees the same as ugly. So it's up to each individual.
So what is the best way to get to know the other entities like them, which might be different from human?
Look at yourself and ask the same question as if asking of an ET.
What should I do? If I was them, I'd try to be nice.
The heart leads with an openness. The mind takes more effort. Pay attention to when you say try to be nice. Is that more effort or openness of the heart? For example, there's so much judgment and prejudice that humans have against each other. We are all divine feminine and divine masculine. In many ET cultures or civilizations, there are no gender. It's okay to be more masculine or more feminine. What's important is the heart. But many who call themselves Christians do not have Christ consciousness, which is from the heart, because they will judge even a child who may have more masculine characteristics, but chose to live in a feminine physical body for that experience, not having necessarily a gender in the first place. We cannot do that here on earth. It is that karma to perhaps reincarnate as that soul who had to learn how it feels to be discriminated against, if that soul was doing the discriminating in the first place. All to understand what it means from being in the heart, what it means about unconditional love, which is to be part of the whole.
Why is it so difficult for human to be unconditional to other people and always create like judgment towards other people?
Part of the human experience. Life on earth as human wouldn't be so valuable to the souls coming in if there weren't such challenges to learn the emotions, to feel the emotions, to gain the wisdom, which is not available elsewhere in the universe. So that is not good or bad to be the good person or the bad person if what is in the end is the experience that is gained by the collective. Because what is unique to the experiences of that soul contributes to the wisdom or knowledge of the collective or source.
So right now, who am I speaking to? I feel like I'm speaking to the energies from more divine source. And who am I speaking to?
The information is a collective, is from the collective.
Collective. Do you have a name of the collective?
No names are necessary.
Okay.
Because we don't need to put names in this case.
Okay. But it is this collective, is that something she's connecting us with all the time? Or something new to her?
This collective is what is also a counsel or guidance that is keenly interested in the soul that Christine understands as Pele. It is the collective that was keenly interested in the Christ consciousness, the soul that is bringing Christ consciousness in a larger manner to correct the perspectives from a masculine perspective to bring balance back for the feminine perspective and energies, to correct the teachings that have been modified from the being known as Yeshua or Jesus.
So why is you contacting her today? Is there something you'd like her to know today? What were the main reasons?
Many entities and humans are aware of this time and space as being an important time for humans to shift their vibration to a higher frequency. You say, what does that mean, higher frequency? It's to shift away from the dark, heavy vibrations, power, greed, self-centeredness, narcissism, those kinds of energies and vibrations, and move into the higher vibration for love, respect, collaboration, compassion, gratitude. The masculine energies were for protection and security so that the feminine energy can flow more freely without fear. That kind of balance and collaboration.
So what can Christine do in this life, today or this year or in the futures, to create the shift like you were talking? What can she do?
To continue to live in her heart, to listen to what's in her heart, to see the synchronistic signs, to follow her intuition, be joyful, be compassionate and loving. Don't be distracted by the low vibrational news, people, atmosphere. It's a time for not just Christine, but everyone to take action toward the higher vibration in one's personal life. Otherwise, it could go the way of Atlantis, where the Earth experiment would need to have to be restarted.
What do you mean by that?
Mother Earth, Gaia, will survive if humanity chooses not to protect Gaia and live in harmony with Gaia. She will protect herself, even if that means destroying humanity in order to protect herself.
Tell me more about that process. How does the Gaia protect herself from us?
You see it. We experience it. The earth will shift. Volcanoes will erupt. Floods will happen. Disease will happen. Things will just happen. Some will call climate change. But it's all just what is the progression of things. And humanity will have to learn to live or face the consequences of not living in harmony with Gaia.
And how much time do humans have?
That depends on humans.
And what kind of action we are supposed to take?
Each person is only responsible for itself, primarily. If you don't take care of choosing, making good choices, or whatever choice you decide impacts those all around you. So, the choices and your decisions, first and foremost, are important. No one can truly force you to make a certain decision, even though some people may think they're forced to make a certain decision. But in the end, isn't it that you're deciding to follow what somebody else is telling you? So, choose wisely.
Anything else you'd like to mention about the Gaia or Earth, about Christine?
There is already much information out there. perhaps too much. Main thing is live with joy and love and freedom from your heart. This is her most important purpose going forward.
So she needed to hear from the bosses and from collectives. And these collectives, are they always together with her, or what is the relationship between them and her?
They've always been available or present, I should say. She knows that her path has always been protected and guided by the collective, which watches over everyone.
You mean everyone on Earth, or?
Yes.
Okay. But is she more connected with them than other people, or everybody on Earth have the same access to them?
Everyone is unique in their connection.
Tell me more about that, how unique it could be.
Each human chooses to see, to hear, to feel, to smell through the human quote-unquote normal senses, but there are many other senses. Some people have opened other senses to connect. So people can choose to pursue a certain ability. Some are gifted with sound. You have like the musicians. Some think they're not gifted at all. But maybe that's their path or their soul contract.
Is that possible, that some people are not good at all, and that the contract they had, or what they brought?
Yes, each person is different.
That must be a hard life then.
To not be connected to the council? No, that's normal. What most people will say is normal, and the ones who are connected, they would say, are the weird ones. But that is changing. Fortunately, it is changing. And the more it is changing, the more people can become open to their abilities and pursue and practice increasing and strengthening their abilities.
So people don't know they are connected. How can they learn they are connected? How do they know?
It is a knowing. If you don't know, then you're not connected.
Okay. Okay, how do they learn how to know it? Is there any way? People like to know how. That's a very human thing.
If you're asking how, what, why, where, when, then you don't know. If it is the knowing you seek, then you must put in the effort, the commitment to gain the knowledge. But knowledge is not just fact. And that's where humans limit themselves. because they think knowledge is fact. So they fail to gain knowledge that may not be perceived as fact.
Can you explain a little bit further for probably Christine understand, or maybe for the average human to understand the knowledge?
Christine knows. She knows what she knows. And, for example, if you saw a UFO or UAP, that would become a knowing. If you see a spirit, let's say a fairy spirit or entity, you would know that. Children see beings, they know that. They know they have that friend until the adults around them discount that knowing, and therefore that knowing no longer is a knowing.
So you have already talked quite a lot about Lemuria. Is there anything you can tell more about that?
Christine will put together people in her family, her immediate family, and her spiritual family to eventually find a place on earth to start a community.
Where is she going to have that community? Is there any suggestion from you?
She would really like to have the easy way out. She will know when she gets there.
How soon do you think she can get there?
Again, that depends on how well she listens to the synchronistic signs and her intuition and her heart. She has the freedom to ignore the signs, not listen to her intuition, which is a challenge as it is for most people. But she also knows that she can ignore it the first time, gets louder the second time, and by the third time we will have her attention. So it will happen. Timing wise, it does not matter. To our time, it will happen. But in her year, month time, it could be sooner rather than later. Maybe next year.
And can she find a place she likes? She doesn't like a cold place, for example.
Yes, she equates the light to warmth.
That would be wonderful. Is there anything else you'd like to mention about Lemuria?
We would like to, seems important to know where the location of where this baby, the soul of what is known as Pele, might be located. That may influence where this concept of community and new Lemuria will be.
And where would you say that Pele is right now?
And that is for people to know when it is revealed.
Okay. So how does she know, or people know, or how to connect to get the answer?
In all good time.
Does it just come to them in a good time?
Some people already know. It's a matter of decisions as to how it will be and when it will be revealed and to whom.
How can she make a decision like that?
To
when or where?
To find out. Patience.
She said that that's a very difficult one.
Patience.
Is she patient enough to go through the process of these?
Yes, she has had to learn patience.
Okay. When she cannot wait anymore, what can you say? What kind of advice can you give her?
She does not want to experience stress that comes with lack of patience. So she will be able to gauge it herself.
Okay. How about the feet? Only have a problem on the feet. So she mentioned only herself and the mother and dad and nobody else in the family. Does she need to pay attention to that?
No. It reminds her of her dragon connection. So it's not a bad thing.
Okay.
Just when she wants to wear slippers and she's conscientious about it.
Okay, so is it going to continue in that way?
She will always have dragon energy, so yes.
Is she connected to dragon energy?
Yes.
Okay. What is the connection between them?
Energy.
And what is the reason that then she needs that energy, or she's fond of that energy?
Everyone has access to dragon energy. Christine often plants the seed for humans to connect with their dragon energy.
Is there anything else you'd like to say about the dragon energy?
Humans are becoming more of dragon energy. You see it in media. You see it more in toys. You see it in comics, movies. But it's important to portray the dragon's energy not as something to fear, but as a powerful source of protection.
So how can humans use that dragon energy for their benefit?
It's like any other protective entities that a human chooses to connect with. For example, a friend of Christine's who has felt lonely, that person's dragon energy asked through Christine to be able to show that that person's dragon is always available in those times to comfort and support. That person can choose to feel that dragon entity and to claim it, or choose not to. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. So how about the dragon seems to be doing so much for us, to the human, and what can we do for dragon?
They don't require anything in exchange, but they're powerful entities, so we can and should respect them, honor them, love them, and give gratitude for all they do for us. Claim your dragon.
So she'd like to know any significant karma with her immediate family members, and that would impact her purpose or maybe help her purpose. So she mentioned all the her partners and the kids and kids' families and everybody, and grandkids. So is there anybody she had karma or maybe soulmate or coming back to the same place again and again?
All of our relations and family and friends, be grateful for the lessons that they are here to provide us, the challenges. Be grateful for the challenges that they put before us. Honor and respect that they have their own path without judgment, and reflect on how you, the individual, can learn to then keep your own energy, hold your own energy in a high vibration without lowering it, because you are choosing to lower it. Not blame the other person for your emotions, your choices. So all of Christine's immediate family each provide a mirror, experiences to which Christine can be grateful for, to getting her to this chapter of her life.
So she's asking there any relationship she need to remember that would significantly benefit or impact our purpose. You mentioned already dragons, and she said reptiles, other entities, Lemuria, Mars, Sphinx, Mongolia, Lahore.
They are part of a soul family. But many, many, many challenges and distractions that she needs to get through.
So Christine, as a soul sister, is there something she can help her?
To be supportive and available, and to...
Is there something she can learn from?
There's an aspect of unconditional love that a soul sister provides.
Are there any others, entities or energies you'd like to mention, or the places? Anything, something significant for her to remember? Or?
There is a feeling of the purpose for being here also with you, to encourage you to share your abilities to help other people to awaken.
Yeah. So tell me about the second Christ consciousness.
It is only the second incarnation of such a soul consciousness of that comes from source, of this unconditional love. It is timely because on Earth's time and space, we're at the cusp of reaching that Lemurian kind of community. And this soul is here now to spread that, but cannot do it alone. And like Jesus, she will need a community to help spread the message, but not through the perspective of this unbalanced, rational, male, power type of organizations, translated through fear and control. And because humans are starting to awaken and transition to the higher vibration, this is timely for, as a reminder to what our soul's contract and purpose, each of our soul's contract and purpose ultimately is.
Anything else you'd like to mention about our second Christ consciousness?
Go back to the simple word. Not all the translated books. Go back to the simple message of unconditional love.
So she'd like to receive information about the locations on Earth to build communities. So we actually talked about it. Is there anything you'd like to add?
So people want to know, similar to Christine, but everyone can build their own Lemuria right where they are.
So it's not only one location, but could be like a different locations?
Lemuria can be everywhere and nowhere.
Tell me more.
You can build your own Lemuria no matter where you are. There are new grids forming around Earth, and often at those access points in the grid lines tend to be very powerful sacred places. Some people experience that energy in places like, for example, Sedona, places like the Great Pyramid. So there are places all around the earth that you can feel energy, but you can also create your own mini energy in your own home. And that's important because it is a place where fear should not exist. If there were an asteroid coming toward Earth, where would you escape to? When you only have a minute, the important thing is you are where you are and have gratitude for that place where you are so that fear doesn't take over. And in that gratitude and love space, doesn't matter what happens in a minute.
How about like if she can connect with the dragon, galactics, ancestral and the light being to discover, remember, and activate and use and expand our psychic abilities and spiritual gift for greatest and the highest good to share love and joy and freedom with herself and the families and communities and the souls.
Thank you, June. You have already provided for that.
Yeah. So she has access to everything she needs.
Yes.
Wonderful. So she doesn't have to look for it any longer.
She will always look for it. She will always ask. She will always be available to receive. Most of the time, I shouldn't say always. That is a very big word to use. But like coming here,
Yes.
she just needs to trust her intuition, look at the synchronistic signs, and take action. follow her intuition, trust, and more trust.
Thank you very much for you to send her here today, so she could receive all the guidance. At the same time, I could connect with you as well. Really appreciate it, and definitely she would appreciate you as well. Is there anything else you'd like to tell her today?
Dance more.
Dance more.
Dance more.
Wow, what kind of
Be
dance?
joyful.
Does she dance?
Not enough. Not enough.
What kind of dance would be suitable for her?
Oh, just listening to the music and letting the vibration give her joy. Move the body. Feel the energy. Because her dragons love to dance.
Oh, okay, so she can dance with the dragon.
Yes.
What kind of music would be great with them?
You let the music speak to your heart. The music that doesn't sit well with you is not what you should listen to.
Okay.
Or if it aggravates you, ask why. Why is that music aggravating me? Maybe it's something to explore. Maybe it's not what your heart needs at the moment, but perhaps your subconscious needs it to tell you to address something that you don't want to address. Music is very important to have in your life. Sound this year, sound, vibration is key this year.
Okay. That's for everybody?
Yes.
Okay. How can they look for their own sound?
Feel, not just hear. Use all your senses. Let the vibration show you the energy. Feel the energy. See the colors. Hear the vibration. We're all connected vibrationally. That's why sound is so important this year.
Are there any particular months as more important than others this year?
By important, if it means significant, energetically, March, April, May, June. March, because of planetary, including the sun, the moon, a lot of shifts that will carry on into April. Vibrationally, it will be very possibly chaotic, energetically, but where there is shadow, there's always light, which then I believe there's more awareness that May will awaken more people, and that will be a catalyst for the rest of the year and years to follow. So important, meaning significant or shift, March, April, May, June. Take action. This is not a time to just sit still and do nothing.
Okay. So what kind of action should we take?
Listen, watch. If it's from the heart, each individual will have a different, unique action to take.
If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you on the next video.